Thank you. Again, I would like to emphasize what Paul Lipton has just said. We need to get more people registered to vote. All right, if you are registered, you need to vote on June 25th. You may say, well, what difference will it make? I don't really know all the candidates. It's judges, it's just judges. But you need to register to vote in order to vote. If you register and you don't vote, you lose the benefit of being registered. You need to vote in every election because when the elected officials look at results, when they look at the results of people who live in areas like this, District 20 in the education system, District 21, when they look at, neighborhoods, when people from those neighborhoods contact them with a need or a concern, if they know that that neighborhood votes, unfortunately, they pay attention to it a lot more. Maybe it shouldn't be that way. Maybe they should be supporting issues because it's the right thing to do. But very often, they look at how many people live in the neighborhood that's going to be affected by that issue. So if you're registered to vote, you need to vote June 25th. You can find out, there's information that is sent out on who is running, what offices are up. It's mostly judges this time. You saw one of the judges who was a candidate, by the way, come here, which impressed me because she came. But whoever you vote for, it's more important that you actually vote. And then when people from this neighborhood send the emails and make the telephone calls and send the letters, the people who receive those letters are going to say, we need to be very careful and pay attention to what this neighborhood is asking for because they vote. If they don't vote, then what can happen is, and it's not right and it's not fair, but what can happen is they don't pay as much attention. So everybody should make sure you are registered to vote. Make sure every member of your family who's eligible is registered to vote. If you have a son or a daughter, and they're 17 years old, 17 and a half, 18 years old by November, they're not registered, get them to register. It's very easy to register to vote. You simply can do it by mail. You can get a form in many different agencies, in the public libraries. In my office, you can pick up registration forms. And make sure you and every member of your family who is eligible registers to vote. And then whenever there is an election, make sure you vote. Go out and vote. You'll get a brochure telling you what candidates are running. You read the information. It's important that you register to vote. And if you do that, it makes it a lot easier when issues like this come up. Because they'll say, we have to be careful, we have to pay attention. These people vote. And we're going to face, in the next few weeks, we're going to face what will be the decision in terms of the legislature. Are they going to even vote on this matter? It's probably better if they don't vote on it, because if it's not broke, don't try to fix it. The SHSAT works. There's been surveys, there's been research done that has shown the SHSAT accurately predicts how well children will do in specialized schools. That survey, that study was done by the New York City Department of Education. And when the results came in, they didn't want to tell anybody about it. People had to force them to reveal what that survey, what that study said, because the result of the study did not support what they want to do. They were saying the SHSAT is not valid. It's not a good test. It doesn't measure anything. We got to get rid of it. But when they actually hired a professional, and they hired the professional, they came back with the answer that it accurately measures what it's supposed to measure, and that is how well children will perform in specialized high schools. They didn't like that result. They didn't want to tell anybody about it, but we were able to force them to put the result forward. And the next speaker is one of the ones who's been very active in terms of this issue. It's been very active in getting the information out to the public, the real information, not just the public relations and the things that the Department of Education wants us to know, to try to convince people that this absurd decision that they're making is correct. But what really affects parents and children in schools, and the kind of information that is very helpful to me as an elected official, because we need information when we vote on a matter. We're given all kinds of information by various sides. We need to have accurate information. We need to have information so that we can vote intelligently. And this speaker and the next speaker basically do that. So it's very important to hear what they have to say and to understand this is how things have been working, and this is what we're going to face in the coming 3 weeks of session. So basically, we're going to be seeing whether or not there is a vote. There might not be a vote. Both houses, the Senate and the Assembly, are holding hearings. They've been getting information from people like you. Many people have come to these hearings. Many people have spoken at these hearings. And I believe the overwhelming message is that the SHSAT is not the problem. That is not what needs to be done to create better diversity, to create better education quality, to create a better education system for all of our children. Eliminating the SHSAT does not do that. There are things that need to be done. I believe one of them is we should have gifted and talented programs and classes in every neighborhood. Not just in the neighborhoods where the parents have fought tooth and nail to keep them. District 20 and District 21 have gifted and talented programs. But it's not because the Department of Education wanted those programs. It's because the parents spoke up and said, don't you dare take those programs away from us. Because the parents have seen those programs work. And because of the work of Stanley, who spoke earlier, and our next speakers, who were very active in giving information out. We need to make sure that that information gets out more and more, and it's going to be our job, my job as an assembly member, and other people like me who are going to spread that information, talk to our colleagues, and hopefully that will get them to listen, that they will not vote. Hopefully neither house will vote to change the law. If they do vote in a way we don't like, well, now it's a public record as who is for and who's against. And when the elections come up this November and again next November, then you are in a position to express your judgment as to whether they were right or wrong, whether they deserve to continue to represent you or not continue to represent you. So, but to do that, you have to be registered to vote. If you are registered, you have to vote in every election. That's how you show your power. That's how you show that you are concerned and that people better listen to you, because if they don't listen to you, you're going to express your opinion in a different format. A format that will determine whether they keep their jobs or don't keep their jobs, whether they get reelected or don't get reelected. But you have to show you're registered to vote, and you have to actually vote in order to do that. So if there's anybody in here who's not registered to vote, it's very simple. We have registration forms. We even have them here. We have them in my office. They're in the libraries. When you register your car and get a driver's license, motor vehicle has them. A lot of agencies have them. If you have a problem finding a registration form, contact my office. We'll get it to you. You fill it out, you mail it in, and then you will be a registered voter, and then you will vote. So I think that's an important message to learn. Paul, what do you have, a registration form? There's registration forms on the back table, anyone who needs them. So do that.